Aloha! Welcome back to Getting Organized. Let's get started and get your business organized and ready to go. All right, getting organized will help you save time, money, and will build your success. Getting organized for a small business owner is essential to being successful because you are the CEO, which means that everything stops on your desk. Time is your commodity and marketing is your lifeblood. Quality, cost, and speed of delivery will be what lures customers in and then keeps them coming back. But you've got to be able to manage all of those things. So let's talk about how to get them organized in such a way that you are not spending 20 hours out of 24 working your business. Let's talk about a couple of the common rookie mistakes. Some of the things that I see regularly with my clients is getting the cart before the horse. They have no foundation set up. In other words, they don't have a website, they don't have their name, they don't have their branding, and they don't have their mission statement because they don't have a direction then, and they haven't taken the time to really sit and think through those things. I love the enthusiasm of a brand new entrepreneur. The problem is that people want to start buying before you actually have anything. I've seen clients say, talk to someone about their business that they're saying, and the first thing a person will say to them is, "Oh, cool, what's your website?" And they don't have one yet. Starting out too fast without a foundation will only frustrate your clients, and you're only really get one chance to convert a client. In this digital world anymore, if you can't produce immediately what it is that you do and why you do it for them, people move on to the next person. So let's make sure you're not one of those people. A couple of other common mistakes that new entrepreneurs make. I talked about this already. No website, lacking the foundation where clients can go check you out in this digital world. Sometimes what happens is that people will act like they're not interested, but they want to go check you out on your website. They're basically vetting you, which is fine. If you do a good job building your website, then they're going to come back and ask you questions and be interested in whatever it is you're selling. They might have no newsletter or a freebie for a client to engage with you. So what I'm talking about with that is that when you build your website, there's going to be a pop-up that says, hey, if you want to join our newsletter once a week, you can get this free checkoff list for building a business. That's your freebie, and you want to entice them to engage with you. The whole thing you're trying to do is to gather email names. That is going to be your deep building clientele list. The other thing I see rookies do is getting ahead of themselves. They're full of ideas, so they either nothing gets done or you can't maintain everything. More likely what I see happen is that they're so full of ideas that they want to do so many things that they don't do anything, or they don't do all those things well. FOMO is the fear of missing out, or shiny object syndrome. Just because it glitters, it doesn't mean it's all gold. You know, I made this mistake. I wanted to be everything to everyone, and I wanted to have all kinds of different ideas on there, and I found out that people didn't know when they came to my site or to me what it is that I did. I had to strip it down. Missed opportunities is something that happens with rookies quite often because you don't have a plan. So we want to build a plan. First thing I want you to do is, now that you've already gone through, you've built your name, your mission, your bio, you know what it is that you're going to do, what you're focusing on, that one thing you're going to focus on. You can expand a little bit later, not too big, but you can expand later. But for right now, you're just going to focus on one. You need to build your website. When you do that, remember the reason we went through everything that said getting your name, checking your domain, making sure that it's good with the state, all those kinds of things. That's going to be your website. For instance, Dare to be a Badass is my website. That is the name, that's the domain name, that's what's on my business card, that's my company name. The tagline that I have is find your voice, find your power, find your purpose. That helps explain what it is that I'm doing. Those things are all on the website. Then you're going to have a tab that says your about or your bio that we wrote in the other class, so that people know why you do what you do. And then you need a tab for your contact information so that people can contact you. And then you need a shop or a products page, because remember we talked about earning your income in 3 levels: today's money, and then money you're earning while you're sleeping as well. So you want to be able to have something that you can sell to them, whether that's a book, whether it is a product of some sort, something that they can click on and go to. Some people will buy online when they won't talk to you or buy from you face to face. And then the other thing that I suggest that you have is a tab for a blog. A blog is just short little articles of information about what it is that you do. And if you're not comfortable with that, that's okay. Everybody's got to get started someplace. I have a writing class that is just about blogging and how to get your articles not only on your site, but also sharing them with other online magazines to drive traffic to your website. So take a look for that class as well. Now, one thing I really want to suggest is that you plan your work and you work your plan. I know that's an old saying, but it really truly is the truth. Plan your work. If you don't plan your work, you're going to be all over the place. And then on days when you just feel scattered, go work your plan. You need a calendar to schedule your week, counting the true cost of that week. Too often I see people where the reason I like home-based businesses is that there are people who have businesses where they're running all the time to meet clients. Unfortunately, they think, well, I'm going to see this client for 1 hour. What they don't count the true cost of is getting ready for that appointment, driving to the appointment, and driving back from the appointment. So actually a 1 hour appointment with a client away from your house can end up costing you 3.5, 4 hours. And then when you take the money that you earn from that and divide it by 4 as opposed to dividing it by 1, then you are losing money. I do most of my businesses through Zoom on the internet. I meet my clients online. The only time I leave is when I am networking, and the networking situation has to be one that's going to be productive for me, not just expensive socializing. And also when I'm speaking someplace, then that is being able to meet my clients face to face, as well as being able to let them know what it is that I do. I like an 18-month planner. This is my favorite. It's just within fingers distance of where I'm sitting here at the computer tonight. And I actually block out where all my blogs are going on the days that they're doing. Since my newsletter is called Take Charge Tuesday, then I know everything that has to happen that will show up on Tuesday, which means I have to do it at the latest by Monday. I typically schedule myself 6 to 8 weeks in advance because life happens and I might not be able to do it on that Monday. But it helps me set my work days. It schedules networking days versus content and newsletter days. It also allows me to be able to say, hey, today's a free day and I get to go play. Okay, one of the reasons I talk about this is, for example, I'm a writer. I need to write. To do that, my backside has to be in front of my keyboard. So I rarely leave my office on a Monday and a Tuesday. I see clients on Wednesday. I network on Thursdays. And I tie up loose ends from 9 to 11 on Friday. And I walk away from my office from noon on Friday until Monday morning. It keeps me sane and it keeps me productive. Weekends are family time. Friday afternoon is, like I said, playtime. I meet a girlfriend, usually involves Diet Coke and M&Ms, and we go tour the town. We might do a walking tour, we might go through a nursery. Sometimes we have been known just to wander through malls just so that we can talk and be away from anything else that requires our workload to do. And it keeps us refreshed, keeps us both able to then see the family on the weekend and then raring to go Monday morning for our work schedule. Now, success means that you serve many customers and you can continue to serve even more customers. So driving traffic to your business is easier than ever before. In this digital age, you can market yourself even when you're asleep. My shop is up and available even when I'm not sitting here in front of the computer. People can continually come to and get. That's why I like the on-demand classes. Everybody's schedules are crazy, and so we're super busy. That way then people can come get the same classes I would do live, but they do it on the computer on their schedule, in their pajamas, in their house. Let's talk about social media value. I love social media value. Truthfully, I'm not one who likes to be involved in all kinds of different things. There are some people that are really good at doing all of those things. I don't. I'm one that does Facebook. My Twitter is hooked to my Facebook, and my Google Plus and my StumbleUpon and my Instagram is all hooked right to my my website. So if there's an article that I have published, it goes to all of those automatically. I set it up like that on purpose because I'm not one that likes to sit and go to lots of different social media icons. However, there are different audiences in each one of these places. So what I'm suggesting is you pick one and you learn everything about it and do it really well. And if you want to do more than that, either connect them like I have or go to all the other places. I just don't want to be an entrepreneur that literally has to live on my phone or on my computer all the time. So that's just my preference. I like social media, but I don't want it to rule my life. You have to figure out what will be the good balance for you. Like I said, get to know what's out there. Learn one at a time if you don't know them all. Post with purpose. I can't say this enough to all the clients that I work with. No drama. Don't overload people. You want to be taken seriously. Keep your political arguments to yourself or on your personal page and mark it private. Your business page, I strongly suggest you have a business page and you have a personal page. On my personal page, I might show things that the family's doing, but you're not going to see that on my business page. My business page is single focused on the business at hand and what I'm doing. The other thing that I have seen happen there's people who get so involved in drama on their business pages that it's off-putting to clients. I don't want to engage in some kind of argument over whatever is going on at the time. If you're, living through the COVID situation that's going on currently, there are people that are taking strong stances about it being a farce, and there's people that are afraid of it, and it's very divisive. So save those things for your personal page, and again, don't have it public. Have it private. Only your friends need to be involved in that. And have your business page set to public because you want people to be able to find you. You want to post regularly. You need to set times and days consistently that you post. If people are used to you showing up there 2 times a week, which I'd say is a really good time, is posting twice a week, then set it on certain days that they are looking for you. I followed someone for a couple of years because I knew that every Monday was going to be when she was going to post things, and she only did it once a week, and it was always quite valuable, very good content, always had a takeaway for me to be working on. You need to do the same thing. If you post every day, people discount you. After a while, it's annoying. It isn't informative. And if you don't post often enough, at least once a week, then you get forgotten in, like I said, the digital world that goes on. Things move very, very quickly. I would say at least once a week. Maybe if you're comfortable and you have enough information, post twice a week. Watch the days that your readership is the most. I noticed with my analytics that Sunday night and Wednesday are the days that people are looking at me. And it's probably because I always post Warrior Women's on Monday and the Take Charge newsletter on Tuesday. So they're following me for that reason. But also watch your analytics to see what days people are getting online and following you. And then post just prior to that so that you're there when they come looking. Let's talk about the Facebook group value. Networking is like gold. If you have an online business like I do, networking is golden. Facebook is one that really, really gives you good coverage out there, and you can boost those articles. You can be connected with other groups as well, so that people know who you are. Social media may help spread your message. Posting in a group allows answers to questions that can benefit others, and so people will come looking for you, or they will recommend you to their friends. You may benefit from someone else's expertise as well. If you go look at Dare to be a Badass Facebook page, that beautiful video at the top of my page was done by a friend that I met in another Facebook group, that this was something he loves to do, and he volunteered to do mine for me. And I absolutely love it. I wouldn't have gotten that without him. It helps to get to know others in your area of interest. I'm part of entrepreneur groups, and they are the ones that have taught me how to do or where to go to build whatever it is that I'm trying to do. All I have to do is put up a question like, what's the best mic to use when I'm doing these webinars? And they'll let me know what they have done. So I'm not wasting money. I'm not wasting time. I go directly to get exactly what it is that they already know. It helps get opinions on your work so you don't spin your wheels. I have a group that is Build Your Own Opportunities, and I can take things to them, give them 3 opportunities. Okay, so here's this business card, here's this business card 2, and business card 3. Which one really says who I am? And the women in that group will vote on it. So that kind of feedback is extremely valuable. Entrepreneurship is a tough world, and we need each other's support. If you ask me a question in an email, on the phone, or texting, or IMing my answers, cut out the information that can be shared with the other women who may have the same question, and somebody else in that group might have a better idea than I do. So Facebook is really good for that. Let somebody ask a question, and then maybe 25 ideas might come up, and one may be golden for you. And like I'm doing, you need to train your clients and your friends to work with you in one media space so that you're not on 7 spaces. And that's more on you than it is on them. They're going to come looking for you in lots of different places, but you need to be predominantly in one place so that you're not, again, living on your phone. Entrepreneurship is the only job I know that people will spend 80 hours a week to avoid a 40-hour-a-week job. So make sure that you are controlling and commanding your time. And part of doing that is uncluttering things and being single focused. People will find you. If you are focused in one place, they will find you if you're good at what you do. And I know you all will be. So here's some ways to drive traffic to you. We've talked about this in our Concept to Profits business, but I wanted to remind you, you need a website. And it needs to be clean. Your website needs to look like your business card and your pop-up for sign-ups. You want a freebie to entice people to sign up. You need to mark yourself as an expert, and the way that you do that is putting out blogs that explain what it is that you're doing, as well as writing for other companies, other online magazines. You need to post with purpose regularly. Don't get into the drama. Don't get into the political arguments. Post about what it is that you're doing. All the articles that you will find on Dare to be a Badass have to do with bringing out the badassness in yourself, how to build your confidence, how to build your business, how to write your memoir. Everything is built in that direction. And then direct contact is a really good way to drive traffic as well. I talk about things when people ask. Remember, we did the class on the pitch. In one sentence, be able to tell people what it is that you do. And so in your direct contact, you're not drowning someone. You're letting them know what it is that you do. Articles that are placed strategically. I write for magazines that will promote me. Now, I'm willing to write for free if I'm getting something out of it. I want my bio and a link back to my website, but also I'm going to write for an online magazine that has a readership of, 50,000 plus, because then I know there's eyes that are going to see me. I've also written for places that in my conservative Christian role, it can be considered edgy. And I do that on purpose because I feel like salt needs to happen in those places. For instance, I write for GPS for the Soul on Huffington Post, and I've written for the Good Men Project on purpose because I feel like that's an audience that I can relate some of my information to, and it will also draw people back towards my website. Don't shun local advertising, flyers, newspapers, church bulletins. There are a lot of places out there that you can just share what it is that you do. I mean, you have to look to see what you're doing and what they're doing and make sure that there's a match or a fit in there. But don't thumb your nose at those. Bazaars, Saturday markets, consignment places, those are all really good places to get your information out there. I have postcards that talk about what I do, and sometimes, honestly, I leave them on the back of the toilet in the grocery store because you never know who's looking for wanting to change their lives. At least in my situation, Dare to be a Badass, they are looking for a change, and you never know who's going to see that. Teaching through community schools, local colleges, senior centers, and churches are excellent places to drive traffic to you. I often will speak, I've spoken at schools, battered women's shelters, women entrepreneur groups, church luncheons, those kinds of things, just to inspire other women to bring out their own confidence and to be the best that they can be, but also then to let them know I'm a resource, I'm out here, I'm available. I will say to you though that when I go to places like that, I insist on being able to sell my book in the back of the room, because if you're going to talk for free or you're going to make $50 for a talk, you want to be able to make it worth your time and energy as well. Besides helping people, this is a business, and to be able to continue helping people, you need to make a living at it. And so I will sell $400 or $500 worth of books in the back of the room. That's through speaking engagements and those kinds of opportunities. So let's move on to the next issue. You're going to build a client list. All right. You need to start close to home. Start with everyone that you knew. No, you need a list of 100 people that you know. And I know people say, I don't know 100 people. Yes, you do. When you start thinking about it, who cuts your hair, who does your nails, who do you go to church with, who's on the softball team, who's the kids' parents that are on your kids' baseball team, those kinds of things. Get them all written down and start letting them know what it is that you do. You can do pop-ups for fun, have a contest, a pop-up contest, or drawing for prizes. Any of those things on your Facebook page, you can do it on your Twitter, whatever. People like things like that, and they will give away their email address in trade for something like that. And it also gives you great advertisement. Networking. You can do parties, activities, fundraisers, go to places where there's a common interest, and go to your target market. Be careful that you are not wooing seniors if your products are for children. If your products are from children, kids don't have money, so you need to be with the parents of that age group. If they're all 5-year-olds, then your target market is different than a group of parents whose children are 15 years old. So just be aware of your target market, and don't accept every opportunity, accept the ones that are specific for you, that are going to move you forward. And you don't have to apologize for that. I was involved with a lot of networking groups, and you have to really count the time that you're involved in. There's money that's spent sometimes. Maybe it's a fancy luncheon, maybe it is just a membership that you have to be a part of. And if that group does not serve you, then it's time to cut ties. Give it some time, get to know the people. Some of the best friends that I've made have come from those networking groups, and I still have contact with them, but I'm not a part of that group anymore because it was not promoting me forward. Just use your time wisely. Remember, there's only one of you at the moment, and it's probably going to be like that for a little while. So you need to save your time. Remember, like I said, time is your commodity. It's like cash. So use it wisely, spend it wisely, be a good steward of your time and your money. Free is really good, like I said, but giving away your skills and your talents can often perpetuate your business, but it's healthy to evaluate these things. Does it move me forward? Will it potentially gain me customers? Is it labor intensive compared to the paycheck? Does it take me off my message? And then don't apologize for saying no thank you. You need to remind yourself it takes energy to give it away, energy that a client that truly needs your service might be being robbed of if you aren't there in the right place. And you don't want to be so exhausted from running around chasing your tail that when you do find a client that is exactly the person that you have created your product or your inspiration for, that you have nothing left to give. Just be very careful. I learned this one the hard way. When I first started one of my businesses, I worked myself to death, basically. I was trying to be everything to everyone, and I found myself in burnout so badly that I was in danger of losing a really good thing because I just couldn't keep it up. Till I finally wised up and decided, okay, I have to say no to some things, and I had to put each one of these things on what I call the altar. There was no sacred cows. You put them all on the altar and decide, is this benefiting one person or is this benefiting a group of people? Can I sustain this? Is this with my mission statement or am I off track? And if it can't pass all of those things, then it's time to let it go. You need to build a newsletter. You're going to capture those email addresses through those pop-ups on your website, or even asking people on Facebook. I ask a whole bunch of people, would you like to be a part of my newsletter? And I would be counting on you to tell me whether I'm doing a good job or a bad job, what I could add or what I could take away. And you know what? I think I only had one person of the 200 I asked say no thank you. Building a newsletter allows you to share content that will benefit your clients. It allows you to also put in coupons and discounts. That way then everybody else is seeing maybe a class you're teaching for $97 and you can add a discount in there so they can get it for $50. It shares new info or products that are out there. And it's also a place to thank your clients for their faithful following. Remember, they are your lifeblood. That's what you're doing this for, is to be able to do something for them, to take care of that pain point. I mean, it's real life that means that we have to earn an income doing it because we can't continue doing what we're doing if we're not doing it. So we need to be aware that our clients are our paycheck, basically. They are the ones that we need to be able to say to them regularly, thank you so much for trusting me. Then build your business or let them know any other business that you're building. I know that I have other sites, and when those people are interested in those areas, I am able to say, hey, here's something you might want to take a look at. So with all of that said, here we go. 1 year from now, I know I say this over and over and over again, but it's because I'm trying to get you to see you can't be successful unless you start. 1 year from now, 365 days will have passed. Where do you want to be? I mean, if you don't want to move forward, that's fine. But if you want to move forward and you're not moving forward, then that's sad for what it is you want to do. And it's discouraging. I want you to be successful. I'm excited about your success. I'm looking forward to hearing about your success.